friends, welcome to Meals with Maria. Today we are making a potluck for Pennies. Each of these servings for each of the recipes is less than $1. These are very inexpensive potluck ideas. I know sometimes you get invited, you're like, what am I gonna make? Is this gonna cost me $1 million? You might see something on Pinterest and say, I wanna make that. And by the time you get done at the store, you've spent $20, $30, $50. And we don't want that. So I have scoured the internet for you and found some amazing potluck recipes that are sure to wow any crowd, and they're very inexpensive, and sometimes they're actually going to be even more helpful because they're things that hopefully you have some of this stuff on hand and it's going to save you a ton of money. So I'm excited to share them with you. I'm excited to give you some ideas for your next potluck so that you can save money and not spend a lot and still wow your friends.
For this first recipe, we're going to make a chili cornbread salad. And yes, it is a cornbread salad that is so delicious, so different, and everybody is going to love it. I did not have any Jiffy corn muffin mix on hand, but if you do, you can just follow the instructions on the package and go ahead and make that up. Or you can just buy cornbread at the store if you don't have a lot of time. But Jiffy cornbread mix is so cheap, coming in at 47 cents at my local Walmart, so that would be my choice. However, if you don't have any, it's even cheaper to use the ingredients that you have on hand. I'm using 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour with 1/2 cup of yellow cornmeal, 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Yes, and I forgot that the recipe for the chili cornbread salad actually has you add 1/8 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1/8 teaspoon of dried oregano, and a pinch of sage. You do just want to add that in and mix everything around before adding in your oil. And for your wet ingredients, go ahead and mix in 1 egg and 1/3 cup of milk. And then you just want to mix everything together really well. And we're just going to cook this like a regular Jiffy loaf. You can do it in like an 8x8. You could do it in like a pie pan. You could do it in a cake pan. I'm using a 9x9, and mine ended up being, I guess, kind of too big. So I couldn't like spread over the whole thing, but it doesn't matter because we're going to make a salad out of this. So we're going to crumble it up after. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was cooked well, and I really didn't care about the shape of my cornbread. You want to cook this at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Definitely check it at that 15-minute mark until everything is cooked very well. And then you can set that aside and let it cool down. As with most salads, you're going to want to cut up some vegetables. So you're going to start with 1 green pepper, and it calls for like a cup of chopped green pepper, and that worked out perfectly for me to just cut up 1 green pepper, which is like 88 cents at Walmart. Then I'm using a couple stalks of green onions and slicing those really well, and that's about, half a package, maybe less, at 44 cents, so pretty cheap. And then some diced tomatoes. I'm using 3 tomatoes and dicing those up and kind of taking like the slimier insides out of those to make sure that the firmer parts are going to stay for my salad. Now I'm getting this whole thing set up the night before I'm going to serve the cornbread salad. I actually served it for 4th of July. So I'm going to make my sauce for it. I want 1 cup of sour cream and 1 cup of mayonnaise, and it worked out perfect because I just had the container of sour cream and I was going to travel with it, and I just put a cup of mayonnaise right in there. And then you also want to mix in 1 envelope of ranch salad dressing mix. So we're actually using that ranch mix again, just like in the other video where I was using ranch mix to make different things. I will make sure to put that video in the description box down below if you want to check out more ranch recipes. Now, while there are quite a few ingredients in this salad, I find that a lot of them I already have on hand, which is something I love about it. I always try and keep those Jiffy, cornbread mixes on hand, or in my case, I didn't actually have any this time, which was crazy, and I was able to make my own super easy with things that I already had on hand. Same thing, always have sour cream, always have mayonnaise, and I have that big jar of the ranch mix, so I'm pretty much ready to go. So that's a bunch of things that are already kind of crossed off my list that I don't even have to worry about buying just to make this recipe. We're also going to use some canned beans, some canned corn, again, things that I have in my closet as is. So there really isn't like a ton of things to buy. In total, this recipe is going to make 15 servings. It is a huge salad and it's beautiful. And if you were to buy all of the ingredients fresh today from Walmart, it would cost you $12.80, and that is 85 cents a serving. So it is super inexpensive. However, that $12.80, all that might be like sticker shock, like I'm making one thing for that. Believe me, you're going to have most of these things on hand, and that's why it can be so inexpensive. You're only going to have to pick up maybe a couple fresh things like a green pepper or some tomatoes. Those fresh items you may need to grab, but a lot of times you can like substitute. Honestly, you don't even need the green pepper. You can make this salad with just the tomatoes or without tomatoes. I think you could make it, swapping in and out many ingredients and it would still be absolutely delicious. So now that I'm all prepped and ready, I'm just going to set this in the refrigerator overnight, as well as my vegetables and my cornbread. I'll just leave that on the counter covered up, and we will make everything tomorrow. And just like that, here we are. You want to crumble half of your cornbread into a 13x9 pan. You want to layer that with 1 can of drained and rinsed pinto beans. Then dollop on half of your mayonnaise and sour cream and ranch dressing mixture, followed by 1 drained can of corn. Half of your diced tomatoes, half of your green peppers, half of your scallions. And then you want about 5 crumbled pieces of bacon. You can actually use the real bacon bits from Walmart here, and that's going to save you a ton of money. And then 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, or whatever type of cheese that you have on hand. And I think that, again, to save a little bit of money, you could do like half a cup, and that would be absolutely fine in this as well. Talk about colorful. This salad is so beautiful. It is too good looking not to eat. And like I said, many of these things you're already going to have on hand. And then you just want to take everything we just did and repeat those layers. So we're just going to pop those right over the top. And in the end, this is what everything looks like. It is so beautiful, so gorgeous, so flavorful, and it makes so much for so little money. I absolutely love it and recommend it. And it's going to be a new favorite around here for sure. The next recipe is for a ramen noodle salad from Cheap Thrifty Living, so you know it's going to be inexpensive and delicious. We're going to start with ingredients that I'm hoping you already have on hand. 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, and 1/3 cup of apple cider vinegar. So that's going to be your dressing for this salad, and it tastes fantastic. That apple cider vinegar is absolutely fabulous. To that, you want to add 1 14-ounce bag of coleslaw mix. You can get this for $1.98 at Walmart these days, but I have seen it on sale at Aldi or my local grocery store, or sometimes on clearance at Walmart for 99 cents. So this is a great one. If you see that at the store and you know you have to make something, go ahead and grab that 99-cent bag of coleslaw mix and then move forward with making a ramen salad that is so simple. To that, you want to add in 2 cut stalks of scallions, which come in at like 44 cents or less. They are so cheap, but they add so much flavor. And then 2 smashed up bags of ramen noodles. And those are so inexpensive as well. I think like 47 cents for 2 of them. And it gives such an amazing flavor and crunch to this. And then you can add 1 cup of shelled sunflower seeds to this, but I actually forgot mine when I went to my mom's for 4th of July. And she didn't have any, so we didn't put any in, and it still tasted amazing. So that can save you a ton of money, because I think like the smallest bag I saw at Walmart was like $1.88. And so you can just go without that and save money, and it still tastes delicious. This salad was so fresh and refreshing, and you can see that it's done. Like, that's it. You just want to refrigerate this for 2 hours covered, and it is such an amazing side. This went so well with that cornbread salad. We had burgers, we had hot dogs, we had a bunch of people over. It was awesome. And we got to watch some fireworks that night too. Julian loved them. I hope that all of you had a wonderful 4th of July too, and I feel like that's only like the beginning, the kickoff of the summer barbecues and potlucks, so I hope that these recipes are super helpful as well. The next thing I'm going to make is barbecue chicken sliders, because it doesn't get any easier than that or tasty than that. I'm just going to place about 1 pound of chicken tenders that I had bought on sale and put those right inside my crock pot, and then about 1 cup of barbecue sauce right on top here. And I'm going to cook that on low for about 3 to 4 hours. Especially with the chicken tenders, you just want to watch them. But because these were frozen, they did take a little bit longer. I think it was closer to 4 hours, because you really don't want it to dry out, but the crock pot will just cook this for you. Like, it's amazing. It is so easy. So I recommend you just find some freezer chicken that you have around, and this is going to be the perfect way to make your sliders. Or you can buy fresh chicken. Right now, I think at Walmart we're running like $2.98 a pound, which is still pretty inexpensive. You can see even with one fork, this chicken shreds so incredibly easily. Now, for grabbing rolls, I recommend Aldi. These Sweet Hawaiian rolls from Aldi were $2.09 on Instacart, and usually that's like an upcharge, so it's even cheaper. And at Walmart, the cheapest I can find is like $3.24. So a lot cheaper at Aldi to get those Hawaiian rolls. So this recipe, you can go crazy and put more stuff on it, or you can just go super easy and put less. So for me, I've heated my oven to 350 degrees, and I am slicing those Hawaiian rolls in half. And then we're going to place the barbecue chicken over the top of them, just an even layer. And I did have some Colby Jack cheese on hand, so I decided to put that on the top there. But if you don't have fresh cheese, you don't even have to use cheese with them. Like, they're going to be good without it. And then there's also the option of making up like a little coleslaw, like I talked about earlier, $1.98 or maybe 99 cents for that coleslaw mix. And just use some mayonnaise and whatnot you have on hand and make some coleslaw. And that's also really good on top of these. So there are so many options. Now, my favorite way to make something that is not necessarily fancy or extremely flavorful, I mean, it already is without it, but it's going to be even better and it's going to make it taste amazing, is to put some butter or some olive oil right over the top of your rolls, as well as some salt, some garlic powder, onion powder, and some Italian seasoning. And that flavor, it's basically like making a garlic bread right on top of your sliders. And wow, it is so good. And you just... like, why wouldn't you do it? You know, just take whatever you have on hand. So I just took those. I put them in the oven at 350 degrees for about 5 minutes. You can see how melty that cheese gets and how the top of those buns are browned. These are absolutely fabulous. Just go ahead and throw the buns right back on top. You can slice these into 12 pieces. The serving size is about 2, although I ate 3 of them for lunch this particular day, and the whole family loved it. I was like, okay, this is not only a potluck recipe, but this is also a good dinner recipe for us, or a lunch recipe, because it was just, they're so fabulous. We loved them. So super easy, super inexpensive. Sometimes you just have to grab the rolls and you can use everything else you have on hand, and it's so great. In total, if you do need to buy all the things for this recipe, it comes in at $5.34, and that's assuming no cheese and you just go very bare bones with the barbecue chicken. But for 6 people, that's going to be 89 cents a serving, and it is so delicious. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video today. I did put all of the cost breakdowns and comparisons down in the description box for you. If you want to check out another amazing video, check out how to use some ranch seasoning, because that also has some great potluck type ideas in it, and I know you're going to love it. So I'll see you all very soon. Make sure to like and subscribe, and you are awesome.
Yeah.
What is it?
5 out of 5.
Can you show me? Take a big bite.
No. A 10 out of 10 is so like it.